Welcome to this funny and friendly episode of Misadventures with
Kiki
and Cowboy. How you doing, everybody? How you doing, my darling Kiki?
Oh, I am entering this episode with a lot of trepidation.
Oh, the trepidation episode.
Yes. After our last episode, I have no idea.
Which one was that? I don't remember. It's been a while since we recorded.
Coming at us. It was 30 seconds ago.
30 seconds ago.
Wow, you couldn't even remember.
We're in a time machine. These episodes could air months apart or
years.
Yes.
30 seconds ago.
Don't tell everybody how the sausage is made, Kiki.
Okay.
They don't know that we record all of the episodes one day and then publish them for the next year.
That would probably explain to them a lot about...
Yeah, that single exhausting day.
The single exhausting day and my rapid decline and downslide into little tolerance for all of Cowboy's antics, which everybody, I'm pretty sure he did Delta 9 while I was out of the house.
Redrum.
I don't know what he's doing.
I'm doing a little Redrum finger.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
You said little tolerance. The first thing popped in my head was Mrs. Torrance. Redrum.
I still don't know what you're talking about.
I think on a recent episode we talked that I was kind of a cinephile.
Yes. On a recent, the 30 seconds
Stanley
ago.
Kubrick, The Shining.
Yeah.
Mrs. Torrance.
Well, for people to get it, they have to have actually watched it.
I'm holding up my finger and doing that top finger bend.
Yeah.
Redrum.
If I haven't watched it, then it's a little hard for that reference to...
Come play with us. The little girls.
Anyway.
Kiki does not like horror movies, by the way, everybody.
I do not.
Like, at all.
At all.
There was a time I did. I think those because usually horror movies these days just don't have a very good plot line and story, and jump scares are not good story drivers.
There's a lot of interesting research on people who like jump scare horror movies.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that the entire episode.
No. I just am going to plant that little seed and let you all know that there is some interesting research. I used to like them,
so that means I'm cured now?
I don't know. Yeah. Interesting. So this episode...
Except for sci-fi horror movies, I still like those.
This episode is at the request of Cowboy.
Event Horizon. Y'all watch Event Horizon. Scariest scene I've ever seen in my life is in that movie.
I didn't realize we were going to be talking about horror stories or horror movies or films or whatever.
I'm trying to test Kiki's patience.
Oh, it's working for sure. For sure.
Love language.
So, in the last episode, Cowboy was...
In a previous episode.
Really excitedly wanting to talk about... all things Turkish coffee.
All things Turkish coffee.
So after we concluded that train wreck of an episode,
the dude episode. We'll call it the dude episode.
Which is interesting because we didn't even get to the part about talking about how much you like a particular movie that has the dude in it.
Oh yeah.
And how much you like to reference it that you almost named your motorcycle The Dude, which...
Instead of Dunarino.
So thankfully, since I get to ride the motorcycle as well, it was not named The Dude or The Duderino.
Or Lebowski.
Yeah, but we missed all of that because Cowboy
We're not
was
missing it now.
intent on... just going down random rabbit holes. And one of them is Turkish coffee. So I'm going to let you take it away here, love.
In the beginning. Just kidding. So I don't know, many of you out there maybe enjoy the occasional caffeinated beverage. What's funny or interesting is I didn't really drink coffee until I want to say late 30s.
That was about the same for me. Well, not late 30s. Actually,
before that, it was occasional sodas and stuff, but caffeine was not really a big thing for me.
Yeah.
I just didn't. And then...
I did not drink coffee the whole time I taught I taught for 10 years and never drank coffee. And it wasn't until I joined corporate America that I did start drinking coffee. My boss wanted, I was the executive assistant to a VP or whatnot, and she came in and decided she was new to the office, and she was like, we need to change everything. And so she was like,
I'm new, let's change everything.
Yeah, so we're going to get,
coffee machines.
New coffee, right? Like she was kind of in charge of getting to choose, right?
Yeah.
And so I ordered.
I'm the chooser.
As her EA, I ordered a bunch of different coffees and ran a probably 2-week taste test,
Holy cow.
And I came into her office with all the results.
Yeah. Folgers Crystals,
and
everybody.
She said, great. What did you think? And I said, oh, well, here, this is what everybody thought. I did the taste test.
Charts,
and she said, I don't care what anybody else thinks. I just want to know what you think.
After all that.
I was like,
but we spent $10,000 on surveys.
I know, right? And I said, well, but I don't drink coffee. And she's like, well, you better, because I care what you want, or whatever it was. It didn't matter. And so off I went, and I ended up.
I prefer tea.
Having to drink.
I'm British.
I didn't even like tea at that time.
Yeah.
And so I did end up drinking several cups of coffee to taste test it myself and just instantly kind of got hooked. I mean, I think I did it over the course of like a week.
Yeah.
Of just tasting, make a different brew every single day for a week, and I just kind of got myself into it. So I am hooked for sure. So I think it was probably around the same time frame.
Yep. I started.
So you did not start drinking coffee until then.
And my love affair with coffee.
How did you start?
With the coffee bean, the cocoa bean. So when did I start? Why did I start?
No, how did you start? Like, how did you why in your late 30s?
I had a short time contract job with a broadcast television station.
Okay.
In the DFW area, Dallas-Fort Worth. And they had, think of the intensity of live news and everything that goes around live news. And I was involved in the editorial team. They had unlimited coffee, and they had good coffee. Apparently, they had a coffee sponsor.
Oh.
And so every day I'd go in, because I worked on the later news. I'd get there at like 3 to start working on the 5. And I'd have a nice Yamo coffee. I was like, this is some gourmet.
So you worked from 3 to 10?
3 to 11.
11?
Yeah. Only I was just a contractor, so I'd just come in a couple days a week and fill in, whatnot. But it was intense because you're just go, 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 go. Yeah. News is live. Go, go, go. Next news.
So are you editing? And this is just for my edification.
Yep,
are you editing
news
and
stuff.
Then as it's getting put out onto the news within 30 minutes of you having edited it?
You have more stuff to edit.
Yeah. So it's just
someone curates all that stuff that goes on the screen. So and that's the editors. Yeah.
But it's not like you're editing something that's going to be aired the next day.
It's that day.
It's
sometimes within
a few minutes of
or
you.
sometimes during the show they'll push something through to say tighten this up. We're going to air it in like 4 minutes. So if you're not caffeinated, you're on some other chemical.
Okay.
Yes, it's intense. You might be high on life, everybody. Yeah.
Are you on both of those chemicals today?
Yeah, high on life.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so how did Cowboy discover Turkish coffee? I'll tell you how.
Okay. We're all waiting.
Actually, well, I think it's
He's looking at me. He's looking at me like, what's the story?
Two-phase.
Like he can't remember.
Now, you were with me, Kiki. We went to some little coffee shop. And at the back of the coffee shop, there were people serving. It was a special day. They were doing something.
We did. We took a motorcycle ride.
It was a multicultural day at this special showcase at a normal coffee shop. A local gourmet.
It was actually a fundraiser.
It was a fundraiser. Yep.
It was a fundraiser, and it seemed it was a bunch of Turkish families that got together, and
they made all kinds of foods. Yeah.
You could buy baklava, you could buy spanakopita, you could buy some of the other yummy things. Turkish Delight, actually,
Turkish
the
names.
First time that I had ever had Turkish Delight.
Think gummy bear, but thicker and cut into squares and cubes.
Yes, with a
I
little
mixed
bit
the
of
word
powder
cube
on
and
it.
square
Queers?
for queers. Yes. Pretty sure that's a Turkish word.
Is it? That's the very first time you've ever had Turkish coffee was there?
I believe it was.
Interesting.
Yeah. And I equate it to, I'm pretty sure that was it.
Was it?
But no, it can't have been. We had it one time before.
I think you'd had it before that.
Because I wanted to go there. Okay, when
Yeah.
was the first time? That's interesting. I would have think that would have been an epiphanatic moment.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know.
For epiphanies.
Is that what that is?
I'm an epiphanatic.
Oh, got it. Thank you for that.
So I'll let the AI tool hear that again. Epiphanatic.
Oh,
epiphanatic.
good. Say it enough times that somehow it just becomes part of
it's not Beetlejuice, though.
the dictionary.
Yeah,
okay.
Epiphanatic.
So anyway, you all the same. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, I found a love.
You found a
one.
love for
I love
it.
coffee. I love like the Italian, like the cappuccinos and espressos,
and this is served in a very small cup,
it's a tiny little cup.
Like an espresso
You can
cup.
literally only hold it with your thumb and forefinger. I mean, it's just yeah. And you
Now, what is different or unique about the Turkish coffee? Not the making of, just the actual coffee itself as you're drinking it. Like, what appealed to you about?
It's very flavorful. It's very I love the smell of coffee. I love the taste of coffee. Turkish coffee is the taste and smell turned to 11, but it's in a very small cup.
Yes.
So it forces the savorage of said coffee.
Got it. It's a sipping coffee.
It is
versus
definitely a sipping. So yeah, think of like a really fine whiskey or scotch or something like that.
Right.
You're not going to shoot it down. You're going to sip it.
Well,
You're gonna
hopefully
enjoy
you're
it.
not.
Yeah. Oh, good. Well, you definitely don't with Turkish coffee, and Kiki was alluding to why just now. Because as Turkish coffee is made, so you literally dump the ground into the cup, boil it, or almost boil it. Yeah, actually boil it over a bed of sand. I'll get to that in a minute. And then pour it in your cup. Well, a lot of grounds are in your cup, and they settle to the bottom because it's such a small cup. If you shot that, you're getting like a spoonful of coffee grounds in your mouth.
Yeah, so what I was trying to get you to say, what I was trying to get you to say is because of the unique way that the coffee is made, as I have witnessed at least, because I've not made it, is it tends to be quite frothy and almost creamy in texture.
It does.
So you've made a cup for me before. It's
very creamy.
There is a texture component to it that is thicker. Than a regular cup of
heavy
coffee.
Liquid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Think emulsified. It's more of a. I think it's a makeup term, but it's a very thick. It's almost a gel, but it's still liquid.
No, it's not that thick.
Yeah,
it's not
quite
thick like a gel, but I would say in the same way that, when you make cappuccino and you froth the milk, it's got some of the same qualities.
But there's no milk in this. But,
there's not,
but it's
I
just
would
naturally
say it is thicker. So how does that happen?
By heating it, and there's these neat little, there's a name for them, and I can't recall, but these little special...
There's a special
copper. Yeah, they're really intricately designed.
Cup with a long handle and a very flat bottom on it, because
and you put it in mine looks like
you
this.
You called it an easy bake oven.
It's this little tiny thing that you plug in and turn the knob all the way up, and it gets about 300 degrees, but it's in about 2 inches of, think of a hot plate.
It's almost like
buried in 2 inches of sand.
It's like an open tray that's like a hot plate
with a cup,
and we do
with like a bowl around the edges so that it holds the sand.
And we do have like sand in it. Like you have a whole bag of.
It's not sea sand. It's a very fine sand.
Yeah, and then
cooking sand. Wink.
Yeah, cooking sand.
Yeah.
And then you heat it up, the sand that is.
Yes.
Before you ever
I let it get to full temperature.
Yep.
It's about 300 degrees before I put the Turkish coffee in its little thing.
Now, I thought there was another ingredient that went in that made it frothy and creamy. I thought that was part of the
sugar. You can add sugar or choose not to.
Oh, and the coffee still turns out.
I thought
it was
if
the
you just
sugar that did that.
If there's no sugar, the coffee is a bit harsher coffee tasting, which is still good. I just have a sweet tooth, so I like to add a little bit of, it's basically 2 parts coffee, 1 part sugar.
Yes.
And I use brown sugar just because it has a slightly different flavor, which I enjoy.
Okay.
But it is highly potent coffee.
Yes, it is drinking like an espresso.
Yeah, I guess we could look it up. We never do pre-research, but I would say it feels like a double espresso, and it hits me.
It does indeed,
hard,
and
yeah.
which is why you choose to drink it at 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
No, I try to drink it before 3 p.m. I found if I drink it after said time, especially later, it'll be midnight, and I'll be like, "What's happening?
I think
What's going
that's
on?"
probably going to be tonight.
No, it was between 2 and 3. I'm fine. I'll probably crash hard around.
Really?
Yeah, imagine that. You've never witnessed
as soon as we hit stop on the episode.
Cowboy tired. The dogs have found something.
Oh, sorry, everybody.
Yeah, there's probably other dogs or a squirrel.
There's an alert happening outside of our house. So, okay, you wanted to talk about not only the making of the Turkish coffee, but I think you wanted to talk about how you came to have.
Yes. So my dear, sweet mother-in-law, Kiki's mother, took it upon herself to recognize how much I enjoyed Turkish coffee.
So about a year and a half ago, my mother and
selected parts of the family all took a cruise in the Mediterranean, and they went to Turkey. Very conveniently went to Turkey.
Yes. And yes.
And Kiki's mother, my dearest,
brought back for you.
Brought back this easy bake oven looking thing with some sand and some Turkish coffee and these wonderful little coffee, what the little saucers with these. They look hand painted.
They are.
So there's a set of 8 of them, and they're really cool.
They're very colorful,
and they're obviously very small, but they're
think
great
about
for serving
like little
friends.
espresso cups with saucers, and they are hand painted. Yes,
And they're lovely,
and everything came from Turkey.
Yep.
And yeah, I think the way that it happened is maybe a year and a half ago, she actually introduced you to the Turkish coffee.
Did
originally.
she?
I want to say that she did.
Well, good on her.
And then
How did she introduce me to Turkish coffee?
I think coming back from Turkey, I think she had bought some coffee and wanted to give you a thing of coffee. And just thought, oh, that'll be interesting.
That's
right. I'm trying to recall the
Wayback
story.
Machine. She did. She brought me coffee.
Yeah.
And I made it
and
on the stove.
And you made it on the stove.
I did. She bought me. Yeah, that was a gift from her.
Yes, and I think that was
Turkish
a Christmas
coffee.
a couple of years ago.
And I used the big cup. Then.
You did.
Yeah.
And you made it on the stove. I think this is how the story
That's
goes.
Right.
And then
the next year when they went to Turkey, she gifted me with a full set. Like a proper.
Well, and I think you just had talked about liking coffee, and my mother is
a great gift giver.
She's not so much a foodie in that she likes to go to restaurants and stuff, but that she's very aware and she has taught herself to cook quite a bit. So, she really likes chicory coffee and beignets, and she will actually make beignets for the family. And she has chicory coffee. And she has gifted me with Irish coffee. And so she's taught me how to make Irish coffees, which I make.
It's amazing.
Really, I actually do.
Amazing.
I do actually a pretty good job of this.
I want one now.
And so.
Of course, I won't be able to sleep tonight already.
Yeah, I know, right? Maybe we'll have to have an Irish coffee sometime while we're reminiscing on one of our podcasts.
Absolutely.
And so, as it were, she likes all sorts of different cuisines and things like that.
She's a foodie.
She is a little bit in that way. And so I think that's how this came to be.
It did.
And then you loved, I think she just brought you the bag of coffee thinking you like coffee. What about, have you ever tried Turkish coffee and try it?
I watched a couple of YouTube videos and
then
I learned how to make it.
You started
I would
making
send her
it.
pictures and share my joy.
I think for
It's definitely a gift that kept giving.
I think, yes. I think you've gotten a couple of gifts out of it at this point, where you got gifted
the original,
the little oven, and then I think for your birthday, your most recent birthday, maybe you got the cups.
Yeah, the serving set.
Yes. Now, I will say that is another thing my mother loves. Once she's got a theme, man, you're going to get Turkish coffee for a good long time.
Yeah, she yeah, just kind of like when you were kids, and she got the theme of white chocolate for the rest of her life.
Yes, white chocolate.
Once y'all figured out she loved white chocolate, I think the joke is she doesn't.
She hates white chocolate.
But she never told y'all after y'all started getting it for her.
And as a daughter of my mother, I love a good theme as well. And so when we were young, and you know how it is when
you're kids. When
you're kids, there's a period of time when your parent has a birthday and you're perfectly obtuse to the thought that you should buy them anything, right? You're like, oh, all right, I'm going to just say happy birthday and whatever. You're young enough.
Yeah.
And then there's that awkward kind of late elementary, middle school, where maybe you're getting an allowance, but you're not really working a job where you have money disposable.
Right.
And now you're getting to the point where you're like, should
I spend some of that money on my parents?
I'm supposed to like buy things for
Part
people.
with my money?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So my younger sister, she's 4 years younger. We were enamored with this chocolate shop. You know, one of those.
Chocolatier.
It was, oh my gosh. I mean, it was the 80s. So it popped up in, one of the neighborhood kind of, I don't know, outdoor corner, where like you're going to have several different stores kind of all with an outdoor parking area. A
strip mall.
Like a strip mall. Thank you. And it was kind of nearby, and this chocolate shop opens, and we had never really seen anything like that, right?
Yeah.
Like normally you'd go to the grocery store and just get some plain old Hershey's chocolate. And I think it was also right about the time that we were becoming aware that Hershey's chocolate, I know, gasp, is maybe not the end all be all of chocolate. And I hope the Hershey's company doesn't cancel me. Well, actually, do I really care? No. I don't know. I don't know that I do.
It's not really chocolate.
Yes. Yeah. It's probably as a controversial a statement as I made on another podcast about Bluebell not being ice cream.
Yes.
But
to some chagrin of our audience.
Yes. So my sister and I became enamored with this place, and we went in and they give you like little shavings as samples. And I think my mom went in with us at one point, and
where it all began.
I don't think we'd ever seen white chocolate before. And so we thought it was so fancy. And my mom said something about it that made us believe that she liked white chocolate. And so for the next several years, every time she had a birthday, we would go in and literally empty our piggy bank. And you can imagine just these two little girls going in with their dollars and their loose change. And we would buy her a block of white chocolate, thinking, and we're just proudly presenting it to her. And it was many years later when we did one of those really fun family confessions where, the kids all get around and talk about all the shit that we got away with. And, ha ha ha, isn't that so funny, Mom and Dad? You thought that we were doing this and we really were escaping out the back window and we went and, did all these things or whatever it was. I don't know. And Mom, was horrified by all of our stories, but then she got us back because she was like, oh yeah? Well, guess what?
I fucking hate white chocolate.
I hate white chocolate. And we were like,
gasp.
What?
The room is full of gasps.
We were like, wait a minute.
What? But that's your favorite chocolate, you told me?
We gave it to you for years. And she goes, I know.
It's so awesome.
And then we were like, but it disappeared. Like, you had to have eaten it or something. And she goes, every day you guys went off to school, I would go in and chisel away a little bit of the white chocolate and throw it away.
Dedication to
just
a ruse.
Hoping. She confessed, she was like, hoping that you guys would not buy it for me again. But she never told us that she didn't like it. So for years, she got a crap gift from her kids that she just had to suffer with. So, oh my gosh. It looks like our barking dog has discovered toads in the backyard.
I don't know that's a toad.
You don't think it's a toad?
I think she's eating excrement.
No, I don't think she is. It's probably a rat.
It's something.
If she's eating something, it's probably a rat.
It's remains of an animal.
Let's
pause for a commercial break.
Pause for a commercial break.
This is worth an inquiry. And we're back.
Mystery solved.
Mystery solved. It was an edible byproduct of eating.
Yes. Basically, everybody who has dogs knows.
You ever seen a dog eat puke? That's what we just witnessed.
Yeah, it was just basically what she did. She obviously had an upset stomach and just got too excited. So anyway, long story, on a theme, bought my mom white chocolate. And what I'm telling you, Cowboy, is now that she knows that you like Turkish coffee, she will buy you anything and everything Turkish coffee for years.
That's great. That and Pokemon Go.
I bet you'll get an apron. Maybe you'll get a cookbook.
Dude.
Maybe you'll get, I don't know, bar towels. I'm not sure.
Whisper sweet nothings to me some more. Oh, yes. Delicious Turkish coffee.
Yes, and we've also had to institute a rule that you cannot have your
Thou
Turkish
shalt not
coffee
imbibe after.
It gradually edged up where it was like you can't have it after 5, you can't have it after 4.
We had to keep knocking it back.
Yeah.
I had it before 3 today.
Yeah.
I'm probably fine.
I'm waiting for you to insert crickets into that whole thing. So we'll find out tomorrow morning that you'll have been up all night long.
No sleep.
He's like, I decided to clean the entire house while you were asleep.
Look. You're like, the drywall's missing. Yes, I cleaned the rafters.
I mean, the last time that you took Delta 9.
Oh, that was a mistake.
I think.
Yeah, we won't be doing that again.
The next morning, you were digging holes
in the backyard.
For quite a long time.
Most of the morning.
Yes. You're lightweight, so like stuff hits you, it hits you hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was out there with a metal detector. I found stuff.
Yeah, you found stuff.
Bottle caps. Yeah.
Sure, bottle caps. Wow.
I found some of the metal objects in our backyard.
I believe you actually said that you were sore.
From all the digging and squatting down. And all the epiphanatic moments. Eureka, I say. I've found something.
I found a bottle cap.
Another bottle cap to add my collection of 2 bottle caps.
Really excited to find.
I was kind of high.
Chicken wire.
Yes, I found some chicken wire.
Because
aged. Vintage.
I guess it confirmed.
And found some barbed wire.
Your suspicions. Yes, barbed wire. That's what I meant.
I found a length of barbed wire.
Yes, because we were like, wow,
this must have been a ranch at some point.
What a big surprise.
We're in Texas.
This is a ranch.
Clearly identifies this area as a ranch. Yeah. It was probably, 3 years.
Who knows?
Just before the houses were built. Yeah, so we'll see. Stay tuned, everybody, for the next time of when Cowboy imbibes a random liquid.
Oh, boy. I don't know if I can handle it. You like to say I'm the tornado, but I'll tell you, you throw some pretty good tornado vibes on your own there, too.
Well, you know what they say about tornadoes? They attract tornadoes.
I don't know. Is it like magnets?
You never see just one. Wait, you almost always see just one.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, unless you're watching in what was that movie, Twister? They remade it. And there's like tornadoes everywhere somehow.
Yes.
And the Dodge once again sponsored that because the Dodge trucks are awesome.
Oh, is that it?
And apparently impenetrable. And their windshields. Did I tell you I was a cinephile? Anyway, but the windshield
we're going down.
gets broken and fixed again.
Yeah. I don't know how we went down that rabbit hole
Bill Paxton,
again.
God rest his soul, was in the first one. He was actually really good. Bill Paxton.
Yes.
You know.
I do.
We'll put her in charge. He was in Aliens too.
Are we gonna go back to quoting movies? And I think I'm just gonna tell everybody thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of
Misadventures with. I'm so sorry.
Misadventures with.
I don't know if I can put my name to this.
And then you know what they do in film.
Oh God, help me!
If you don't put your name to it, you're Ellen Smith or Smythe.
If there's anybody out there, would you please just
make it stop?
Come to my house and just rescue me. Set my car on fire so
while
I have
you're
a reason
here,
I
have a
have to
Turkish
leave.
coffee with Cowboy. You won't regret it.
That's true.
All right, we'll see y'all next time. Thanks, everybody.
Bye. Love you.
Bye.
Ka-chow!